This is a short presentation on choosing an issue that you can use all semester long, at least for the first several writing assignments. So we're hoping that you'll pick an issue that you can use for a good chunk of the semester. And one of the reasons we want you to do this is so that we can get you to practice the technique called thick description. That was a term coined by the anthropologist Clifford Geertz. He called thick description the difference between merely gathering data and on the one hand, and then trying to understand how data helped you understand multiple complex conceptual structures in a society or in a culture. So as we ask you to research your issue, we're hoping that you will try to understand that data can't tell you anything unless you understand the social and cultural structures into which the data fits and the people to whom the issue matters. So we're imagining that this is quite a bit like the reflection cycle, which is a term coming from ePortfolio scholarship. In the reflection cycle, you have concrete experience, which then leads you to reflective observation, which leads you to abstract conceptualization, and then experimentation, which is more concrete experience, and so on. This, we think, is much like our process for moving through genres, but asking you to use the same issue. So let's say you have an issue that you've chosen. We give you a couple of genres that we want you to use. In this position, you'll do research, both topical and rhetorical. Topical research being research on your issue, rhetorical research having to do with the circumstances in which the issue gets deployed in social settings and the people to whom it matters. And then we imagine that you will, from that research standpoint, move to reflecting and thickening your understanding of the situation and of the issue. This then leads you to do more research, both topical and rhetorical, which you'll apply in a new setting, new writing situation, new genre, etc. Each time we hope that you'll be deepening your understanding both of the issue and of the rhetorical situations in which the issue matters. So over time, we want you to look at your issue from as many points of view as possible, and also to examine your own judgments about the issue, the ones you brought with you to the beginning of your investigation, and your prior commitments about the issue as well. Hopefully the research process enables you to question, examine, deepen your own understanding and your own judgments and commitments. We want you to bring as many points of view as possible to your investigation. So, as you take your issue, we want you to think, what is the rhetorical situation in the thickest possible sense, and what are some possible opportunities for addressing that situation or fitting responses, questions we think you'll answer more than one time. One of the tools we hope you'll use is the flash memoir assignment, which you'll be working on right away, a very brief memoir that connects one image, memory, experience, or a connection to the issue. And this is a tool for you to begin your investigation into the issue. So let's think of a specific circumstance. As I was listening to the inaugural speech today, I was struck by President Obama's discussion of voting rights, which led me to do just a little research. So here you have the ACLU. It articulates some various circumstances in which voting rights issues are being addressed. This led me to look into the artistic idea of the issue. Are there artists, for instance, who are addressing voting rights here? DC Vote is working with local artists to produce and promote artwork highlighting democracy, justice, and voting rights. I thought maybe doing a little history into voting, or research into the history of voting rights, might also be beneficial. You can see here just on this Google search that I found a bunch of very good sources. Of course, if you went into the databases in our library, you'd find a whole bunch of different kinds of sources. Here's a short video that gives a history of voting rights in the United States. So as you begin to do research into your issue, we want you to consider as many points of view as possible, think about your own experience, and continue to add research, perspectives, and data, as well as conceptual understanding of your issue and the rhetorical situation. And if you do this, we think you'll be very successful in carrying out the assignments of the course.